Legend of War here, and today we've got a semi-disaster battle playing as the Ironbrow's expedition going up against Malagor, where this is a very unusual situation because Malagor usually doesn't survive the early game when played by the AI. Obviously, when controlled by the player, Malagor is insanely powerful, but this is extremely rare for him to survive this long, and he's brought with him a very dangerous army. Now, the battle result says that it's valiant defeat, right? Which might think, oh, that's only a little bit of wiggle room. The problem here is that the dwarfs are usually overrated in auto-resolve. They're a very auto-resolve heavy race. And when they go into manually resolved battles, because they don't have much speed and really any sort of cheese, a lot of the time, they just can't push the balance of power that hard. Whereas beastmen are usually underrated in auto-resolve, especially given abilities like Vile Entropy, which don't rate at all in the balance of power, but can actually do some serious damage. Same thing with a lot of Malagor's abilities. So we've got an overrated auto-resolve with an underrated auto-resolve. We go into the manually resolved battle and don't stand a chance. This army here stands absolutely no chance. We've got Longbeards here that don't have very good leadership because of Malagor. They're just going to get rolled over right away. So because we're on the attack, we can make a few adjustments here. Can you do anything to it? 6%. Nope. Okay. I wonder if some of these heroes here are stinky of Nurgle and are like causing problems. I just don't know. Because we got some serious leadership problems. But it's hard to know exactly how much it is. You know, the chances of wounding these guys here is pretty low, so just don't worry about it. Anyway, here's what we need to do. We need to make some serious adjustments. Get rid of the Longbeards. They're just not going to help. Get rid of the Flame Cannons. While they are good units, in this situation here, they're not going to help. And get rid of the Mournfang Cavalry. Good units, but in this situation here, that's not what we need. And then we're going to get rid of, as well, 1 unit of Thunderers. Or should I get rid of 2? They'll get rid of 2 of the inexperienced ones. So what are we going to do? We're just going to attack with this? No. So what do we... Oh, God. Something running on the roof. Probably just a possum. What are we going to get in the Regiment of Renown here? What are we going to get? Well, we are going to get Norgrim's Ironbreakers and Slayers. Loads and loads of Slayers. We want to get the Giant Slayers more so than the... regular Slayers, because they are significantly better. Yep. And them. Okay. These guys here, even though they're affected by the leadership, they're way better than, what's it called? Longbeards. These guys here will hold the line. And these guys here, we're going to use them at the start to really hold them back as long as possible to try to smash them. Still says Valiant Defeat. We're going to lightning strike them because even just a -5 leadership penalty on them could really help. But what we've done here, I haven't necessarily made a better army. I've made a tailor-made army for dealing with this. Because you're not going to go up against this that often, right? So building an army specifically for it would be weird. But yeah, we need the Slayers. Just need them. Okay. Here's what we're going to do. You do that. This guy will be at the back line. As in behind them. Because we don't want them to get hit first. Then the guns. We want to get hit with Vile Entropy as little as possible. So we have to spread out as much as possible. So kind of a checkerboard formation there. Don't put the artillery pieces close together where they can both be hit by Vile Entropy. And you stay in the middle. This guy's got a fair bit of holding power as well. And we're also going to run back at the start. Bounce of power is bad. This is what I was talking about, how dwarfs are overrated in auto-resolve. Alright, this unit here got hit with the Vile Entropy. But that's fine. I wasn't relying on their ammunition at all. I need their holding power. So corner camping is very useful for the dwarfs to try to prevent flanking, because they've got a lot of units here that can flank us pretty hard. So we've got to be careful about that. No, we're too close together there. In fact, I may have moved a little bit too far back. But they'll use another Vile Entropy again soon. And then we can restore ammunition with the restock, which is good. Okay, send just one unit up ahead. Just one. Put down a Rune of Speed on it. Okay, we got some dudes coming in over here. That's fine. Let's try to get ready for them. If they're going to come over here early. Alright, now them. I'll just have them shoot at whatever they can. Don't tell them to shoot a specific target. Even though I really want to get rid of the Jabba Slice, these guys will have derpy firing lines eventually. I think that'll be a problem. But it's really important that we try to prevent ourselves from getting overwhelmed and flanked. So basically the Slayers will take the brunt of the initial momentum from the Beastmen, and then this guy, hopefully when they're a little bit more tired, will deal with whatever's left. Just hold them back while the guns do as much damage as possible. We really need to be hitting the Jabba Slice. They are very dangerous units. Okay, we haven't been hit with another Vile Entropy. What are you doing? Get over there. Bouncer power hasn't really shifted at all, which is a little bit of a problem. Malagor's in melee there, so that's interesting. The Slayers are probably our best bet for killing him. But just hold them back as long as possible. Bouncer power's doing alright. So these guys here, while they aren't unbreakable, they've got way better melee defense than Slayers. This is what we needed here. They're not doing any damage to the enemy. That's not what we need. Bouncer power's pushing. As long as they're not near our guns. And more Vile Entropies coming down over here. This guy's shooting. We're all shooting at okay targets. Don't bother shooting at Malagor. Don't bother shooting at him. He's got loads of missile resistance. There's no point. Just let that one leave the battlefield. We can finish it off in the next battle. You got a potion of healing. Use it. And the bouncer power. The Slayers saved us. The bouncer power is shifting in our favor. All thanks to the bloody Slayers. And this one here. Because they never got to the back line. He had a good army. It was a difficult decision to disband a lot of those units, but they just weren't well suited for this particular scenario. Good, there's the army losses. That's hardly the end of Malagor, and he can essentially just restore all of his forces really quickly, so you really need to put him down for good. But at least whatever rampage he's been doing out here is going to come to an end. For a short time. Because yeah, it only takes one turn to recruit a Jabba Slice as well. Front line got absolutely destroyed, but all the guns remain. Yeah, the problem with the flame cannons is that they're not particularly accurate. And with the animations of the Jabba Slice, because they jump around a lot, they just weren't suited for it. And we needed everything that we had just to deal with the Jabba Slice. And also, it just would have provided a really good target for the Vile Entropy. Even though we could have restored ammunition on it. I didn't actually need to restore ammunition once in that battle. Because they put it on bad targets. Because usually, I think what they try to do is they put the Vile Entropy on whatever unit has the highest balance of power, which would have been the Flame Cannon. So, a lot of Slayers died, but, you know, that's what Slayers do. Oh man, he ran a long distance, but we can finish the job. Best to just put him down before they restore. And then, you're gonna have to find some way to come over here and finish the job. So it's turn 119, and your campaign seems to be going alright. At least the dwarfs are still alive. So, they might even be willing to confederate eventually. I won't do any more deals with them, you sort that out. But here you go. Yeah, don't attach him, he'll slow us down too much.
Not likely. For the king.
Right, if we auto-resolve this, we'll lose all the Slayers. If we fight this manually, we can get out of this without losing loads of Slayers. Like, I just keep them in reserve. Because always the damage units get wrecked. Because, yeah, on the approach here, like, these guys just aren't going to make it. Even if they pop that down on us this time, it's just not going to matter. Because I don't know if he's going to want to keep these Slayers or not, because I did just completely deplete his Regiment of Renown pool of them. Didn't seem like he was really relying on them too heavily, and that's what they're really good for in an emergency situation like this. So yeah, let's just keep all of these in reserve. We don't need to corner camp too hard this time. Just put the healthiest Slayers up front, and him, because he's got a potion of healing. Yeah, shouldn't even really be worried about being flanked this time. And for some reason, they put down the Vile Entropy on this. I don't understand why they do that. They don't have ammunition. I don't know. The guy in the email said that he got hit constantly by that. But then again, he didn't have Slayers in his army. Don't even bother trying to aim for Malagor, just not gonna hit him. Man, those cannons are not being very accurate at all. Jeez. So, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. As long as he doesn't die, he's fine. Because we got a potion of healing. Yeah, these are a really good unit, this one. Trying not to let any of these units get wiped out. But man, these cannons, I'm just so slow at killing. So I was going to say, organ guns are way better than siege cannons. Sorry, they're just cannons. Organ guns would have done so much more for you. They just have way higher damage output. Cannons have a lot of ammunition, but in really fast-paced battles, they just don't get an opportunity to use it all. Okay, pull him back now. Okay, this one here is nearly dead. Get him out. Said no Slayer unit gets wiped out today. Okay, there's the army losses. Because yeah, if we ever look at Malagor, he's got 45% missile resistance, 30% physical resistance, so that's 75% missile resistance, and then another 80% missile resistance, because we don't have magical attacks. We can try to knock him out of the sky. It would give us a bit more loot money, but he's just so resistant to damage. It's just not going to work. No. Whatever the case is, he's going to get wiped out now because he's lost 2 battles. And then you may have to reform your army. I know it sucks that the Mournfang cavalry are gone, but they were not going to be helpful in this situation at all. They really weren't. We needed the Slayers. Now, I totally understand having Mournfang cavalry in your army as the dwarfs. I think it's a good choice, just not in this situation. Unfortunately, it's just hard to get lots of them. And there you go. Now, if we have a look at Malagor now, if you can quickly come over there before he has restored... Oh, I don't know how you're going to do that, but yeah, if you could go over there, you can wipe him out before he comes... Because he's rank 40, fuck's sake. Yeah, you don't want him surviving any longer, because he'll recruit the exact same army again really quickly. But at least he's not going to cause you any more problems around here, and you can, you know, go and ruin dwell or whatever it was that you were doing out here. That situation is solved. You'll be able to recover a lot before you deal with him again. But my advice is if you don't finish him off before he comes back, send 2 armies against him instead of 1. Because yeah, now you're not going to have that many Slayers in reserve. They didn't all get wiped out. But yeah, I'd actually recommend keeping these ones here for now. At least while you're dealing with that stuff, because all of this looks like complete ruins. I don't think it's Skaven. Let me just check actually. Looks like Clan Moors is dead. Yeah, you would have taken them out early. So this is actually just ruins. Because there's not Clan Vulcan either. They're gone as well. So Malagor's has been going around blowing everything up. So you just got to do a whole bunch of ruin dwelling for a bit. And what you could do here, you could occupy this turn using an exploit. If you force march all the... Should I just do it? Look, I'll save it and I'll show you, okay? Because it wasn't on legendary difficulty. Because this guy probably doesn't have any more fighting for a little while. If you come to, like, right... You have to get right over to it. Yeah, I can tell it was definitely Beastman that blew it up. You gotta get right up to the settlement, about there. Maybe even... No, that should do it. And then you kick him out. Is he... Yeah, he needs to make sure that's grayed out. You'll kick him out for just anyone. Then you can switch stances. And then, there we go. And that way you can start recovering a little bit. If you want. Because I don't know if you owned that and they blew it up, but whatever the case is, you know. You don't have any more enemies out here for a little bit. Use this opportunity to get this territory back. Anyway, that's the end of this one here, guys. Hope you learned something. Hope you enjoyed it. Very rare situation, which I always enjoy tackling. It's quite a challenge. Anyway, that's the end of this one. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time, fuckers. Bye.